Hello, friends. So today is, I think it's the 12th day, or 12 days ago, I finished my seventh entry point water fast. The seventh one was 60 days. Imagine 60 days. And before I started the water fast, I did videos about why you should join me, why everyone should try 7 days, everyone should try 2 weeks, and then I was doing videos about how you can use water fast as a way of a super meditation. Why I say super meditation, I mean it that you can meditate for 12 hours a day constantly, and it really it really works miracles with your mind. And of course, this leads into you experiencing miracles in your everyday life, and by that I mean your professional life. And all of this I describe in the previous videos that you can find the link to them in the description to the stream. And of course, as always, I would like to thank all of you who support me by liking this video, by sharing this video, liking this profile. And I'm thanking you because I feel that what I'm sharing with you is something that should be heard by everyone, because the things I talk about are things about us from a point of view of sapiens, and I would say not even Homo sapiens, but from a point of view of our genetic code. So that means that anything or everything that I experience, you can experience it too, and because we have the same genetic code, and it doesn't matter if you're a boy, girl, if you're old or young. It doesn't matter where your mother gave birth to on this planet. You are still the same genetic code as you and I. So, what I want to tell you today, because the title of this video is Discovery, and for most of you don't know me, but I do these water fasts. I would say long water fast. The first one was 50 days, and now the last one, the seventh one, since 2019, I did it for 60 days. That surprised even me. And during my second water fast, I discovered something that kills cancer cells. Now, when I discovered it, I thought to myself, no, this cannot be real, that some guy from the Czech Republic in red glasses, just by clicking on the internet, would find something that can kill cancer cells. So then I downloaded some scientific studies, and they actually proved to me, these studies, that I'm probably right. So then I contacted one scientist from one of the studies, and it was Dr. Jocelyn Tan, renowned oncologist. And I wrote her on Facebook, and I said, look, this is what I found, and I think it means this. Do you think I'm like completely out of my mind, or like overlooking something, or could it be possible? And she said, yeah, that's the way it is. So then I asked her if I could do an interview with her. And in the interview, I actually asked her all the arguments and so-called discoveries that I published in a video. You can find the link in the description to the stream. So before I published it, to make sure I would not make a fool out of myself by publishing something about cancer, and then it would be some hoax. And this scientist said everything to all the points I published in the video. She said, yes, that's the way it is. So I called it in the Czech language, I called it Discovery 2020. So in the Czech language, discovery, the word for discovery is objev. So I called it objev 2000 hashtag objev 2020, and I published it. So I published it. It had 50,000 views, 300 likes, some shares, and I continued with my life. And then a year later, in the spring, I was doing a water fast again. And during this water fast, I discovered something that cures diabetes, both types. So again, I found it. Then I spoke with various doctors who confirmed it, and then I published it with the hashtag again OBF 2021 hashtag OBF 2021. And this time, I don't think I didn't have enough energy to do it in English, so it's only in the Czech language. But it's a nice video. I think it's extremely informative. In fact, I don't understand why the information that I published in the video with the hashtag Discovery 2020 about cancer cells and what I published in about diabetes, that this type of information I think should be taught to every human being from the age that they can like read and understand what a human body is. So let's say from the first grade, it should be common information. Like every human being on this planet knows that what peeing is and what they should do when they are going to pee. And same thing that they know that people shit, for example. Like everyone knows it. Like it doesn't matter. You will not find a human being on this planet that would be surprised that someone takes a shit, because it's like common to everyone, right? So it's common to everyone. So I thought that the discoveries, 2020 about the cancer cell, and also about the how you can get rid of diabetes, that information should be like the first times a little baby understands human language, and we tell him, this is your name, and this is your father, this is your mother, our family, and our dog, and this is our home, and all the basics. So let's say when they're 4 years old, what I publish in those videos, it should be taught to everyone. Just like we tell them, if you don't breathe, you will die, so you have to breathe. You don't jump off a cliff. You don't fly. You have to watch out for yourself. You cannot put your hand in fire. So one of the things I published, they should be known by everyone, and they are not known. And I'm surprised that it took me 45 years to find this. So that's what happened in 2021, and now, and I cannot even believe it. During the seventh water fast, I like really practice the techniques I described in the previous videos. How to use water fast as means of as a different way of meditating. In fact, when you meditate, you don't like some people enjoy the fact that they are meditating, but meditating, you can view meditating as means or as exercise of how to reach a certain goal. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm not going to describe the goal, but you do the act of meditating not only because it makes you feel, let's say, refreshed, but you do it with the specific intent of reaching a certain goal. And so it's like when you work out. Some people enjoy moving the weight, and some people don't really enjoy moving the weight, but they enjoy that every time they move the weight, they are moving to their goal, which is that when they go on the beach, they will have big muscles. So we have when I meditate, I have this concrete goal. In fact, I know how to define the goal, and I actually defined it in the previous videos. And the goal is to be in the flow. So now I'm not going to describe what flow is. You can watch the previous videos. But the goal for me is not to meditate. Goal for me is to be in the flow. For some people, they get there through meditating. But for me, what's extremely easy, that during the water fast, and again, I described it in the previous videos, during the water fast, you can get easily into the state where you are in what's called the flow, the zone, the peak performance. And when you are in this flow, you you know it's not only with sports that you do a good, good. I used to be a competitive swimmer, so when I was in the flow, I could really swim even better than when I was swimming consciously, like paying attention to everything. I wasn't as much of a good of a swimmer than when I basically lost the interest and just let the body do its thing. Now imagine that in this flow you can be during your professional life in a corporation, that all of a sudden you play life as a chess master, and there isn't a change from day one to day two, but I imagine it that every day my life situation, everything that I do improves so much that from a day to day that I don't notice it. It's like evolution. When there when you look at from the let's say from son to father and from father to grandfather, like you don't see that they would be changing, even though they are changing. But the change is so subtle that it's unnoticeable, because it takes, for example, if Homo sapiens is here for 250 years, so it means that the change doesn't happen as fast as 250,000 years, right? So I imagine that every day it's improving until all of a sudden I notice that something is different and I don't even know how it happened. And this is exactly the state of mind I was experiencing during the seventh water fast. And I could see how my life was just like everything was falling together. That it was it was weird. And so when people tell me, "Oh my God, George, how can you suffer for 60 days? Not eating and only drinking. That's terrible. Come back to us." So I always say that I feel much better, much safer in life during the fasting period, and I would much prefer to always to fast if I, because I know that I can only fast as long as I have fat reserves, and I feel that in my case it's when I'm around 65 kilos. So I know that probably the maximum I can do without hurting myself would be 70 days. So I know that for 70 days, no matter what happens in my life, it always somehow turns out great. And this is what I was experiencing during this water fast. And imagine what, during this interesting state of mind, which probably happened due to the fact that your body is only using ketones from your fat reserves as its energy. And ketones are actually the only thing that glucose cannot get everywhere in brain. That's what I published in the video with the in 2020 with cancer. That ketones they can actually flush the whole brain, and therefore your brain functions better. And during the seventh water fast, aside from many other things that I will publish later, and they are big things, really big things, really big things. So aside from that, I right now have in my head, or I have another discovery with the hashtag 2022. So right now, and I'll tell you at which stage this is. Right now, I discovered something that I, ha- I noticed a connection of something. Then I already check on the internet, and I cross check with all the findings, and it confirmed what I found. Then I did several experiments on myself already, and they have proved again my hypothesis, what I think is happening. So now Of course, I will not tell you what it is yet, because right now I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I did with before I published the video about cancer, which means, and the same thing with the video with diabetes, that right now I will try to contact a renowned world evolutionary biologist, and I will do the same thing as with I did with Jocelyn Tan and also the other doctors with regards to diabetes, that I will present them my hypothesis, my findings, the facts that can that are considered given, and I will present this in an online interview to this scientist, and then if he she agrees with what I said, I will publish a video that will be it's, it's so paradoxical that that some George from Czech Republic with red glasses publishes a video on YouTube in the year 2020, how to kill cancer cells. In 2021, he publishes a video, Discovery 2021, about how to get rid of diabetes, which is one of the biggest killers of humans in today's society, and the cost of for insulin and the pills for the other type of diabetes, it's like astronomical. And so I published that, and then because probably of the entry point meditation and entry point water fast during the 60 days that my head worked the way it did, I'm ready to publish the video with the hashtag Discovery 2022. And if someone right now asks me, George, if you could choose between the three videos, first one about killing cancer cells, second one about killing, no, getting rid of diabetes, and the third one, the Discovery 2022. If you could pick one, and the other two would never be published, which one would you pick? I would always say I pick Discovery 2022 because, guys, Discovery 2022, it just is. If the evolutionary biologist says, George, oh my God, you are right, then that's like the biggest thing that actually that no one can escape it. Because just as in the beginning, I was saying that, every human being on this planet has to take shit, has to pee, has to inhale oxygen. Uh, every now and then, they have to eat some energy, calories, and I don't know. Every 2 minutes, we have to breathe oxygen, and then that's like the same for everyone. Everyone, can see with their eyes, hear, that we have touch. So this discovery is universal to all human beings, and that's exactly the basis of entry point philosophy, which is a philosophy that I have discovered, that I live by it. Now I know that it's very similar to a view of life called analytical ideology, ide- analytical idealism, and through this philosophy, you can basically discover these things and use it as a tool in your life. So I guess the next video I will be doing, I'll tell you how I'm doing with finding the right the evolutionary biologist, because uh, if uh, if he or she confirms what I think I found, then it's in my opinion huge. So take care. Again, write me, message me. All the contacts are available for me already. I'm glad that this way I would like to say hello to my new friend Nosa. I hope you're doing well with your I think that right now it's 11th day, right? No, maybe now when you watch the video, which is probably tomorrow, it will be the 12 days. So I just want to tell you, thumbs up. I'm glad we had those conversations, and that everything is working well in your life. And maybe we could discuss more the entry point meditation, because I would really like you to experience what I've experienced, because you can view it as a, it's still the same reality, but you approach it in a different way. And that different way, when you use it for a long enough time, somehow it makes life, living quality life and improving your life somehow much more easier than if you live it and approach it in the standard way. So yeah, guys, I gotta go. Take care. Thank you for your support, and let's see you soon. Bye bye.